weeks later.
And in all honesty, as I look through the film, I'll be real honest with you. I mean, if we hit Cam, that's a walk-off touchdown. If we hit Devin, that's a walk-off touchdown, and you're 250, 300 yards passing. You know, and I thought that we made a lot of good throws. But there's a whole bunch of other yards that people don't see. There's checkdowns that have there's nobody within 30 yards of the checkdown, and they're covering people down the field. And it's just not learning, just not knowing our system and trusting it enough. And I'm telling you, in scrimmages and in practice, it's 1-2 checkdown, he's throwing it. And in the game, it's just experience in the offense and what we're doing. And I think, you know, and I try not to, I really don't. I don't give them a big, huge pregame speech. I'm pretty relaxed on game day. I don't, you know, and they were, I think, just the fans and all the, naturally, you know, we want to get everybody fired up and all that, and we do that. But I think our guys were a little, you know, they were excited. You know, I have a guy that watches from the box. They watch our sideline. I don't want anybody sitting down. Everybody on that sideline is focused on that game. And if one guy's not, they write their number down and they'll never dress out again. I mean, and not one guy was written down. I thought our guys were focused, but I think maybe a little bit, you know, that's what causes those to miss those, is just being a little bit geared up. I liked how they handled it at halftime. We called them up there and I said, hey, let's just relax. Get about that half. Let's go to the next one. They went in, relaxed, executed, went and scored, did what we needed to do. And you know, just like I tell people, is that it's not just one thing or another. But what I like about this team is we got good people, we got disciplined players, and we have talent. I will make no excuses. We're gonna compete for championships. No doubt in my mind about that. We got a lot of work to do.
Todd, what do you want to see this week? I mean, what are some of the areas?
Another win. Another win.
Well, at least besides that.
I want to see us execute better. I want to see us be better fundamentally. Here was the thing, because it's what I emphasize. I emphasize no penalties. Take care of the football. Okay? Defense. No penalties. Get takeaways. We put the ball in jeopardy 3 times, lost it once. We only got 1 turnover. We could have slapped the ball back inside and gotten 2. That's uncharacteristic of how we want to play defense. You know, last year we were in the top 1 or 2 in the country in getting turnovers. We've got to take care of the football. We've got to not get stupid penalties. Okay? But the big thing that I talked about today is that you can have the best effort in the whole world. I mean, you can have a great attitude and give great effort, spectacular. That ain't good enough. You have to be fundamentally sound. Does that make sense? And we were fun. If there's anything in that game that really stuck out, is just how I thought we were very sloppy fundamentally. And in the run game, and what we do is very technical on both sides of the ball. I want to see this week us to get a whole lot better fundamentally with our footwork, with our hands, with, you know, naturally your eyes, feet, and hands. I want to see all those things that really apply themselves and get better fundamentally. So that's what I want to see, and you know, a lot less missed tackles and missed blocks, and the footwork up front. I mean, you know, they're basically playing cover 2, and if we block the play right on about 15 different plays, we block it wrong because of our fundamentals. We get that corrected, and let me tell you, we've got one explosive back in the backfield.
Coach, what have you been able to learn about Maine?
Well, Coach Cosgrove, been there like 19 years. Very well coached. I like his style. You know, it's 4th down. You might see swinging gate. You might see polecat. You might see, you know, they're very aggressive. You guys know what polecat is? Not I don't know. You can ask DJ. He'll tell you. But I can tell you this, very, very well coached, and I don't know, they must spend 40 minutes on the special teams because they do a lot in the special teams. Got a really good kick returner. Quarterback is a lot, it reminds me a lot of Trey. Very good operator, quick, fast, read zone type guy. Look for him to spread him out, bootleg, that type of stuff. Good operator, and they got a good tailback, good run game. So they're a very dangerous team. Watched their Syracuse game from last year. I mean, they ran the kickoff back to the 30. I mean, it gave them a heck of a game. So, you know, all you have to do is when I walked in today, didn't say anything. I walked up to the kid and said, Oregon State. That's it. You better get prepared. And here's the thing about that. If you go out and it's ugly and you don't play well, it doesn't, you know, even if you win, it's going to hurt you, you know, in week 6, 7, 8 down the road because, you know, we're going to be in a dogfight. There's no doubt. You can look around. I think everybody in the Big East has, you know, won this week and had some big wins there with South Florida beating Notre Dame. And, you know, you better get better every week, especially this time of year, and then continue that throughout. So, you know, I'm very impressed with how well they're coached, is what I would say. They're a very disciplined team, and they're a dangerous team, just like anything. I mean, you know, I don't think our kids didn't. I thought that they were humble in how they approached Buffalo. I know today they showed me that they wanted to go to work and get better, and we had one of our best practices. So as long as you're humble in your approach, you won't get humble.
It seemed like Maine had a kind of an opposite game as to what you guys had. They had a big lead at halftime and kind of had to ease off the gas pedal a little bit in the second half, whereas you guys kind of turned it on in the second half.
They totally dominated their game. I thought the game was Bryant. They totally dominated and did well. You know, again, this early in the year, man, it's about us. It's about us fundamentally getting better, us taking care of the football, us getting better. And you know, one of the things that you know, that was probably one of the things I was the most disappointed about in the game was putting the ball in jeopardy 3 times when we didn't have to. You know, we're not going to do that. It's like, you know, sometimes I said we're going to face where, you know, it wasn't there, we got a bad play, throw it out of bounds, take a sack, don't turn the ball over. We can't throw the ball out there and do that stuff. And so, you know, we don't do that. Kids with all the right intentions operate outside the system. That's what gets you beat. And we've got to, you know, those 3 plays are the only things that really stuck out to me that we were pretty animated about. We will not tolerate that. We're going to take care of football.
What do you make of the Big East being undefeated, if any?
I mean, I think they're off to a good start. I mean, I think there's a lot of parity. There's a lot of good teams in this league. I think there's a lot of. I got to watch a little bit of a South Florida game. Got to watch a little bit of the West Virginia game. I can tell you both those teams are really talented, and I knew that going in. Watched Syracuse. They won in overtime against Wake Forest. You know, and I'm thoroughly impressed with Coach Perone and his man. He's my kind of. I think they're very well coached, very good football coach, good program. And I think it's going to be it's going to be a lot like it's probably been in the past. There's a lot of parity in the league, and you got to, you know, go out and bring it every week. But I feel good about where we're at. We got to get better in a hurry, and we got to just every day just get better. If we do that, we're going to be right behind.
But is it hard not to hear the chatter about all the conference realignment stuff? I mean, is it hard as a coach to, you know?
I don't.
And I'm not talking about the Big East specifically, but I mean, you know, obviously it's getting a lot of noise these days. And do you just ignore all that, or?
Yeah, I do. I don't. I'll be real honest with you. I don't have anything really, you know, to do with it. You know, I think that the University of Pittsburgh is in a great situation because it's the reason why I came here. You know, I think University. I look at the Big East. I look at this conference. I look in the country. I thought it was one of the top programs in the country. You know, I think we're sitting on stable, strong ground, and whatever happens, I know that we're going to be sitting good. So, you know, and a lot of that stuff too, everybody gets all in an uproar about it's all going to change, everybody's leaving and all that, and it never winds up really transpiring. There was a little bit of movement in some of the deals. You know, you don't know what's going to happen, but I don't worry about things that I can't control.
Do you prefer a situation where you're in a conference where there's, like here, where you just play your league games and then whoever's got the best record at the end of the season wins? Or do you like the opportunity like Conference USA has where you can sort of, if you drop one along the way, you get to that conference championship game, you can kind of make it up?
I'll just answer it honestly. I really like the conference championship deal. I mean, it was a great event. I mean, it was really special. I got to play in that game 3 of the last 4 years. I think I was 3 of the last 5 years. It was a neat event. So I like the conference championship games. I know it's harder to go undefeated, you know, because you can win all your games and go to the conference championship game and have the best record in the league and get beaten. That's it. But I like the conference championship deal. But you know, I mean, I don't mind it the way it is now either. I just answering your question honestly, I like that game.
Anything else about Maine or Pitt before we conclude? Okay, thanks for coming, Coach. Thank you.